As Connecticut's Back to School Authority, we continue to get some more answers for families around our state who are wondering what school is going to look like for their kids. We're going to check in now with Dr. Michael Connor. He is the superintendent of Middletown Public Schools. Thanks for joining us, Doctor.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So the big question, how is everything going to look in Middletown? Are we going to do in-person learning, partial learning in person, full online? What's the deal?
Yes, good morning. Yes, that's been definitely a topic of discussion around the state nationally, but here in Middletown locally, we're going to do a mix of both, where it's going to be face-to-face instruction as well as online instruction. And then every Wednesday, will be completely online instruction for kids. So teachers will be able to receive, and leaders receive the necessary professional development in order to live in this new environment, as we're saying here in Middletown, and then also to get an opportunity to clean the schools without having students involved or actually in the building in itself. So every day we'll have a process of cleaning, but on Wednesdays will be pretty much a full comprehensive clean for all of our schools.
And Wednesday, obviously being midweek, what was the reasoning behind choosing that day?
To ensure that, kids will be in two groups, Monday and Tuesday, as we have these mixed cohorts that will be coming in on Monday and Tuesday. It'll give an opportunity for our custodial staff as well as the facilities team to be able to clean midweek as well. And then Thursday, Friday, have the two cohorts come back in.
Okay, so a little bit of a reset button to split up the week. As far
Absolutely.
Yeah, and hey, we can all use a little reset button every now and then. How is this hybrid learning going to work? I know there have been a lot of concerns parents have been conveying about the real-time learning, right?
Yeah. So our goal is to try to create a level of what we're calling in Middletown instructional authenticity. And that authenticity is to have an online experience that can emulate the face-to-face experience that students will have. Now, obviously, we know face-to-face experience from a socialization aspect is eliminated. It's an eliminated factor or variable within this new paradigm. However, trying to create conditions where there's structures that are involved, where teachers will be able to log on to meet with students. Students will have designated times to do project-based activities, as an example, and then also come back the next day for face-to-face instruction with their teachers. So it's very synchronized and is also structured the way we have developed the model or designed the model. We had a great, what I like to call a pilot or experiment at our Summer Literacy Academy, where we were testing these conditions for learning purposes so we can be able to implement into the fall. So we have great data from that, as well as also professional learning that's going to be focused on how to create these environments where teachers are going to be living both in the face-to-face world with students and then simultaneously switch to online instruction. It's going to be a difficult task, right? This is kind of like an imperfect model because of what the coronavirus have created. But again, we want to be able to ensure that we prepare not just our teachers and leaders, but parents and students for this new environment.
All right, and quick question about the in-person instruction. What are class sizes looking like? Are they going to be split up or reduced in any way?
Yes, they're going to be reduced. On any given day, a teacher might have in between 10 to roughly about 12 to 13 students. So it's going to be half of the population in all of our schools. This is to ensure that physical distancing and social distancing guidelines and parameters are in place. Protocols to be able to support students and staff. Safety and health is the priority. That we'll be able to manage that. Now, if we went to a full in-person learning model, it would be hard to appropriately social distance because schools, they're not configured. We weren't, the configuration of the buildings didn't have this pandemic in mind. So now I think that with half of the population, we'll be able to adhere to those guidelines and keep everybody safe.
All right, and one more quick question before we go.
Yes.
Extracurricular music classes. We've been hearing so much about, the main classes, but what about the extracurriculars, choir and band? I know there are some concerns. The CDC says something like singing has been a high-risk activity when it comes to the coronavirus.
Yes, so we are going to have our extracurricular activities. Middletown, we really pride ourselves on the arts, but we're going to do it in a safe manner. We have purchased or invested into specific PPE for our teachers for instruction, for band and chorus instruction. We also will have that online as well, where students will receive online instruction in that manner, in that context. And also, too, we have our chief of school operations, Marco Gaylord, who invested in specific instrument safety features so that we'll be able to have that in place for our students as well. So right now, as an example would be our band is practicing outside, social distancing, 6 feet apart. So in this world, we have to be very creative, but the guidelines and the parameter or the principles is to keep everyone safe.
And we're all hoping for a mild winter, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Summer 12 months a year.
Yes, exactly. All right. Dr. Michael Connor, Superintendent of Middletown Public Schools, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Nicole. Stay safe.
You too.